What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Joe. Come back at you with another video. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this because this is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I've actually gotten a lot of questions in my personal life about this from people who don't take martial arts. So here are 20 ways you can tell that a martial arts school is no good. If you see pretty much any number of these things in there, say peace and get out, because you're not going to learn real martial arts. You're going to basically be paying someone to teach you some crap. Okay. Now, these are in no particular order, and these are things that I've either heard of or have seen personally. Um, so here we go. Number one, you get your black belt in 1 to 2 years. If that does happen, or if you know someone who has gotten their black belt in 2 years or less, just don't ever train there, or just don't go there. It's bad. But Tiger Rock, we get our black belts in like close to 3 years. 3 years is a good amount of time, because a black belt does not necessarily mean that you're the best at everything. It just means that you basically completed your journey to black belt. But 2 years is too soon. Number two, new students have to sign up before before they can take class. That's bad for many reasons. One, you don't know how the class functions. You don't know what they teach you. You don't know how they teach you. You don't know if it's going to be good for you or not. So yeah, if you walk into a place wanting to take class there and they make you sign up. Now, signing a release form is one thing versus signing up for a membership. That's what I mean by signing up. You have to sign up. You have to become a member before you start taking classes. No, you don't want to do that. Number three, special course to get your black belt in 6 months or less. That is a load of crap, because you will not be ready for your black belt, and you will not be ready for the responsibilities of being a black belt. If they have one of those, basically just peace out of there. Just don't sign up there. Number four, your teacher doesn't want to spar you. That's bad for many reasons. One, your teacher is probably scared that you're going to be better than them. And two, your teacher is not wanting you to get better. My teacher sparred me all the time. We had special, because I'm also an instructor. I've said that in many of my martial art videos. And I sparred my teacher like 2 to 3 times a week. And that's good for me because, one, I get better at sparring, and two, my technique gets better too. So that's bad. If your teacher doesn't want to spar you, leave that place. Number five, instructors wear special belts rather than their rank belt. I have seen this at so many martial arts academies, and I cannot tell you how infuriating it is that they don't wear their rank belt. If they wear special instructor belts, that's just stupid. Now let me show you what mine is. Okay, I am a first degree level 1 black belt, and I still am an instructor. We have special patches we wear on our belts right there. And that's just something to make, because these are all the patches I got. That is something that is to basically just lets everyone else know that you are a certified instructor without putting it in their face, like a special instructor belt, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Okay, number six, the training floor is cluttered with trophies. Now, if it's on the floor, or if it's like basically like, if you could tell the difference between them showing you what their trophies or whatever like medals or something looks like, that's one thing. But if it's like in your face and it's like all over the floor and whatever, like you can't walk in the floor without stepping on a trophy, yeah, that's bad. Which I have seen that too. That is just ridiculous. Number seven, talks down other martial arts or martial arts schools, or doesn't like cross training. That's bad for many reasons. One, that just proves that they're very ignorant on other martial arts, and it also shows that they just want your money without having to really teach you anything. I've never ever taught down another martial arts school, except for that FO thing, that martial art where they use like they can pull or knock someone out, which I'm gonna get to that without touching them. Um, that's very just no. If you hear them talking down other schools or other martial arts, they're not a real martial art. They just want your money. Number 8, instructor uses students as punching bags. I've never seen this, but I've heard of this. And if you walk into a place and you're watching their class, and the instructor is like beating up a student, pretty much, peace out of there. Now, let me say this: if you see them teaching a technique to other students by doing it like, let me back up. My very first instructor, he would use me as examples to show students how to do certain techniques, like arm locks or throws or whatever. Because one, I'm an instructor, and two, I'm very large. Let's just say that I'm quite stocky, and so he would use me to show them how to do things and how effective it is. That's different than him using me as a punching bag. So be aware of that. Number 9, refuses to teach you certain techniques because they're too deadly. Certain techniques are deadly, but we were taught them because it's a self-defense style like of Taekwondo that we do. And if your instructor doesn't want to teach you certain techniques because they're too deadly, just be like, just tell him, like, I don't know, be respectful, but basically in a way tell him that he's retarded. Okay, number 10. This is a big one. Kids' classes are more games and chaos than they are actual training. We had a school, not in our place, but in the same town that we lived in Pensacola. There is a school where they would go pick up the kids after school and take them, and basically they were a daycare. Whenever we were asked if we did that, we always said no, because we're not a daycare. We are a martial arts school. If you ever see a place where they have a school bus and they go pick up kids after school and they watch them until their parents can come pick them up, don't go there, because they don't teach real martial arts. Basically, they're there as a daycare. Okay. Number 11, teacher has registered his fist as a deadly weapon. I've talked to someone who has said that they do that. That is not true. That is completely false. You cannot register your fist as deadly weapons. I don't understand why people think that they have to say that, because quite honestly, if that person gets into a scuffle with someone, he can't kill you with one punch. Okay? Unless you're like 4'2" and the guy you're fighting is like 7'8". There's just no. It's not possible. No. If you ever talk to an instructor who says that they register their fists as deadly weapons, don't train with him. Leave. Okay. Number 12. You practice harnessing your chi or ki, whatever you call it, and you practice the no touch knockout. That's not true at all. That's some ancient Chinese thing that they did back in the day. There's no way to knock someone out without touching them. Okay, let me just go ahead and make that point blank clear. It's not possible. Okay. Number 13. Your teacher scares students into respect. If your instructor, or whatever you call them, sensei or whatever, if they prefer to scare you into respecting them rather than them earning your respect, don't train with them, because they're basically bullies. They're teaching you how to be bullies, and it's not going to work out well. Number 14. Teacher won't show you his certification. This is bad for many reasons, which I'm not going to get into all of them. But basically, now they don't have to like have it displayed and like have lights and a shadow box and whatnot. We had ours in a frame hanging on the wall, and it was more as like a way to keep people from asking, "Can we see your certification?" They just looked and it was there. It's always good to train under a certified instructor rather than someone who trains like in a parking lot or the park, because that's just bad. But if you won't show you a certification, he more than likely doesn't have one, or two, he's just cocky and doesn't think that you believe him. Either way is bad. Just don't train with him. Okay, number 15. Their rank and age don't match. Let me just tell you this right now. I don't know how it is for every place, but with Tiger Rock, you cannot receive the rank of master if you're not 31. Now, other places may be different. It may be like 30 or 35 or whatever. Whichever one is fine. But if you're talking to somebody and you're interested in taking martial arts with them, and they're a senior grandmaster and they're like 25, yeah, they're not a real senior grandmaster. They haven't gone through all the stuff, and just no, they're fake, and don't train with them. A senior grandmaster is like a seventh degree for Tiger Rock, and if you're talking to someone in Tiger Rock and they say that they're a master but they're like 20, yeah, no, they're not a master. They're just lying to you. So if they're an instructor and they're 20 and they say that they're a master, and you know for a fact that they're 20, let me just say that, and you know for a fact that they're 20, and they say that they're a master, don't train with them because they're lying to you. Okay, number 16, that you are not allowed or you are required to compete. Both of those is bad. Basically, I've heard, I haven't seen this, but I've heard of certain of like my friends who train at certain martial arts academies, and they're not allowed to compete because it's not honorful, and some other of my friends are required to compete because it's honorful. If you don't want to compete, don't. If you want to compete, do. Don't train with someone who's forcing you to do something that you don't want to do, or not allowing you to do something that you really want to do. Number 17, no one ever fails testing. Failing a testing is important. You don't want to fail. You want to do your best and hope you pass. But if you fail a testing, that's good, because then you know what you need to work on for next testing. Or unless you have a retesting that you are allowed to do, which we do. We have a retest. But either way, no one ever fails testing. That just proves that they have no standards, and it's not good. Number 18, forbidden techniques that are only taught to certain students. This goes back to instructor doesn't want to teach you certain techniques because they're too deadly, but it's a little bit different. If your instructor will only teach certain students certain techniques, that just means that he's showing favorites, or that just means that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Either way, it's not good. Number 19, quantity is encouraged over quality. What does that mean? Quantity, it's like he's teaching you all these techniques, he's teaching you all these kicks and all these hand techniques and whatnot and so on and so forth, without really breaking them down and making sure that you know these certain techniques well and you can perform them very well, and then he's moving on to other ones. If he's just giving you all these techniques and without really like helping you perfect them, then he's basically just wanting your money without you knowing what you're doing. Number 20, and last but not least, is you bow to a huge portrait of your sensei or teacher or instructor, whatever, on the wall. I have seen this, and I've also heard of this. And I cannot tell you how confusing and frustrating it makes me to see a school that idolizes their instructor that much. Now, you can idolize your instructor. I do. I love my instructor, and I think that he was like the best one. But what about a huge portrait of him? No, absolutely not. Because what's the point? Like, it's basically saying that we believe you and we will listen to you no matter what, and that's just retarded. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If it made you laugh a little bit, I'm glad. If it did help you, if you are looking for schools and you see these anywhere, just don't train there. Please go find another school. And yeah, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below for what you want to see next, and subscribe for more content just like this. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Peace.